Let's go straight live now to NBC News correspondent Jacob Soboroff. He is in Pacific Palisades. Jacob, what are you seeing this morning?
Willie, it is. This is what happens when an entire community in the largest county, most populous in the United States of America, Los Angeles, is literally wiped off the map. Pacific Palisades was home to 23,000 people. Most everybody, I think, virtually everyone has left this community, and there are very few homes left standing, and most of the critical infrastructure is gone. I grew up here, Willie. This is literally my neighborhood. I was born and raised here. This was the Ralph supermarket, one of two supermarkets in town. You can see what it looks like today. It's awful. It's awful. Come just take a look down this way. I remember when I was a kid here growing up, in and around this area, look at all these terracotta tiles. These were a feature of a lot of the architecture here in Pacific Palisades. You know, you would sort of sit and hang, can eat in the front, and then go across the street to the hardware store or to the gas station. There's a car wash right over there. Across the street there was an Indian restaurant. I can close my eyes and walk around and tell you what this place used to look like, and it is no more. It was just an unbelievable, extraordinary set of circumstances that involved winds that were hurricane force that we had never seen before, and it was a tinderbox ready to go because of the nature of how dry it's been here in Southern California. We've barely gotten any rain this year after 2 years of incredibly heavy rain. And so now what happens? There's no library. The library's burnt down and gone. Schools are gone. The high school set on fire. There are multiple elementary and middle schools here. They're all gone. There are still fires burning. I drove up here this morning up from the Pacific Coast Highway. This fire burned from the Santa Monica Mountains all the way down to the coast. And there's still smoldering homes down in what's called the Huntington of Pacific Palisades. I don't know if there's any way to wrap your head around it, other than to say a neighborhood in a city that is a patchwork of neighborhoods, Los Angeles, is literally wiped off the map, ceased to exist as we know it, and now people are going to have to start to rebuild. I think the only silver lining is that the death toll has been remarkably low in all of these fires here in Southern California, but it's going to require a response that is not only mutual aid on the first responder level, and I've seen firefighters that are getting some well-deserved rest in town right now from up in Northern California, from all of the jurisdictions in Southern California. Los Angeles Police Department has been on a modified citywide tactical alert, meaning officers are surging over here to make sure people are staying out, staying safe. Also, in terms of rebuilding, this is not something that one municipality, even Los Angeles, can handle from a general fund or even the state level. Gavin Newsom, who I ran into yesterday, has been around here. It's going to require a federal response, maybe to the tunes of billions and billions of dollars to start rebuilding this place. And that effort is underway as I speak to you this morning from what remains Pacific Palisades, but it'll take a minute to get back to what it was, Willie.
Jacob, I can only imagine what it's like for you on a personal level to walk the streets you grew up on and see nothing left, including your own home. And I'm sorry you're going through that, but we appreciate your reporting on it. I have friends from Pacific Palisades who yesterday rushed to their home, grabbed a couple of things, some photos, maybe some prescriptions, got their kids out of the schools, as you report, that shortly thereafter burned to the ground, and are just starting from scratch again, like so many people across Los Angeles County. So what can you tell us this morning, though, Jacob, about the status of the fires that continue to burn? As you said, some still in Pacific Palisades, but across Los Angeles County, the wind we hear has died down a bit, but may come back a little bit later tomorrow. What are you seeing and hearing about the progress in containing at least some of the fires?
They're having a very difficult time, and containment is low. Near zero almost everywhere, Willie, but because the winds have died down, this is sort of the moment they have to do it. I no longer live in Pacific Palisades. I live further east towards downtown Los Angeles, and as I drove back this morning after getting some rest last night, there are fires all the way from the San Gabriel Mountains, the eastern part of Los Angeles County, Altadena, into now the Hollywood Hills, near Rustic Canyon and Nichols Canyon, sort of in the center of the city, all the way here to the coast. And so when you say that Los Angeles is a city that's 430 or something square miles, the county is even much larger than that. When I say it's the most populous county in the United States, we're talking about 12 million plus people, 4 million in the city of Los Angeles alone. It is a remarkably vast municipal jurisdiction, and so it's why it's so difficult to get the hands of the firefighters and first responders around these blazes. What we really need and what they really need is a reprieve from all this wind, and so this moment is the first that I can recall in the last 36 or so hours that has felt like this. So still, you can see the smoke sort of settling in here. This is the moment that if there's any fires remaining, and there certainly are, that they have to attack them, get those airplanes back up in the sky, because it was so difficult for them to fly those attack airplanes and helicopters over the last couple of days because of how windy it was. The idea that there are hurricane force winds in Los Angeles is almost unheard of. 100-mile-an-hour wind gusts in Southern California is not something that we contend with. Santa Ana winds we talk about all the time. They come in from the inland and they blow out to the coast. There's that warm air that you feel, and it is honestly is what drives a lot of the fire danger this time of year. But as Governor Newsom said the other day, we're almost in a permanent state of fire season out here now, given the state of the vegetation, the near constant droughts that we face out here in Southern California, and the idea that with a wind event like we experienced, you think about, Willie, the big one. We think about it as an earthquake. When I close my eyes and imagine what the devastation of that would look like, it looks like what we're facing here today. Never, I think, did anybody, maybe not even first responders, the head of CAL FIRE told me this is one of the most devastating fire events in the history of the state of California, probably certainly in the history of Los Angeles. This seems to have been some version of the big one that we didn't expect, sort of what the cause and the source of it would be.
Hey, Jacob, it's Jonathan. Good morning. And yeah, you're right. The danger posed by earthquakes there now perhaps surpassed by wildfires. My quick question to you is, the fact there are 4 or 5 distinct fires, some of them 20, 30, 40, 50 miles apart. Is there any sense, or local officials have any sense as to how this could have happened? We know the Palisades apparently started in someone's backyard, that blaze, but we see on the map here, these fires are not close, perhaps even out of the reach of a burning ember caught by wind. Is there any sense as to how this could happen in so many places at once?
I think because of the wind and because of so many above-ground electrical utilities that are in Southern California, more often than not, they're looking to a spark from one of those as sort of the first cause. But I've talked to fire experts here, and they say they can always triangulate this stuff based on where the fires have burned, where they started, and sort of how they spread in each of these distinct locations. And there will be forensic analyses of all of this, Jonathan, in the days and weeks to come.
All right, NBC's Jacob Soboroff reporting for us from the ground in his hometown of Pacific Palisades. Jacob, we appreciate you giving voice and conveying what so many people in Los Angeles County are feeling today, and we'll talk to you again later. Thanks so much.